right, the name is Dale, doing the album review for the Griselda WWCD. This album review is done on behalf of Audio Liquor Magazine. I am later than I anticipated doing this review. We are now in 2020, just a few days removed from New Year's Day, and I actually had this album in 2019 about 3 weeks ago, so didn't have the time to get to the review, but now I'm doing it, and I'm actually late to the whole Griselda movement. This is the first project that I've heard from them. I knew of them because I heard them featured on other people's songs before, but I never actually heard a mixtape or album from them in the past until now. And if you're not familiar with the Griselda Click crew, you had Westside Gunner, you had Conway the Machine, and Benny the Butcher, and they're from Buffalo, New York. Not New York City, not none of the 5 boroughs, Buffalo, New York. This is the first rap group or solo or any time that nature that I've heard from Buffalo, New York. I'm sure there's been rap artists from Buffalo that came out in the past. I just never heard anybody from there. So I'm totally new to hearing any rappers from this region. So that's refreshing in itself. And their movement has been slowly buzzing and building with loyal followers and people who are really into their music since about 2012, I would say. And they're now signed to Shady Records. If you're not familiar with Shady Records, that's owned and ran by Eminem, from my understanding. And Shady Records doesn't have a good track record of longevity. People tend to do 1 or 2 albums on Shady Records and then they're no longer signed there anymore. Like D12 had like 2 albums, Obi Trice had 1, I believe, Slaughterhouse had 1 until that situation fell apart. I believe Yellow Wolf had 1 and done. I think 50 Cent's the only one that had any kind of resemblance to long-term success, but I don't really even consider that because I believe he was signed to Aftermath/Shady Records. So I don't even know if you even consider that, you even put him in this conversation. So I'm curious to see how this Griselda thing goes in the near future. Will they stay on Shady Records? How many projects would they do on Shady Records? I'm just interested in seeing how this goes as far as them in that situation, that partnership. And I've also heard this Griselda movement, this Griselda wave kind of compared to the Slaughterhouse craze and wave a few years ago. And I don't really see the comparison at all. I don't see the connection or link. I think they're very 2 different movements. I would compare this Griselda movement more to the Boot Camp Click movement in the 90s. If you're not aware who they are, the Boot Camp Click, Duck Down Records, you had in that affiliation, in that clique, you had Black Moon, Smith & Wesson, Helter Skelter, Ruck and Rock, Sean Price, OGC. I would compare it to that. Even kind of like the style, the kind of real gritty sound, I can kind of compare it to that clique in the 90s and that movement in the 90s. I'm going to get into the album itself. I'm not going to go in detail and go through all the different songs on the album. I dig just about every track on there. The only things I tend to skip is the intro, the outro, and this 42-second track called Kennedy, which is more like an interlude, not really a song. It's 13 tracks total, 12 and 1 bonus joint, so 13 tracks total. They pretty much stay in the same vibe, on the same subject, thugging, street shit, crime shit, hustling, drug dealing. It's grimy, hardcore, boom bap. I read the production is sample free, but it doesn't sound like it's is sample free. It seems as if they took some of the instrumentals and ran them through a machine or a music program and chopped it up as if it was a sample. The production is top notch. I really love the production. It's one of the strong suits of this album. The only thing I didn't like about this album is the gun / Uzi ad-libs that they do on damn near every song. It gets too repetitive. I get it. You got guns. You're not to be fucked with. But goddamn, I mean, I believe it's Westside Gunner who's overdoing it with that shit. And I guess that's his signature. You know, it goes with his name. Excuse me, but they just overdid it with that shit. It got kind of irritating. It doesn't turn me off from any of the songs, but it's like, I'm like, come on with that. But that's the only flaw I really see in it. I know they pretty much stay in the same lane, what they talk about, but that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. I don't want, if artists are good at basically one style or one train of thought, it's not always a bad thing. Because sometimes when people try to get outside their lane, it gets whacked. So I don't really have a problem with them staying pretty much gangster through the whole album, and it doesn't really kind of divert to another lane. I don't really have a problem with that if that's your thing. But I have to say, this guy Benny the Butcher, he makes this album along with the beats. He kills it. Dude got lines. He got bars. I'm going to be in search for his solo projects he's done in the past. He shine. He was the standout in this joint. Just when I thought that ad-lib shit was going to turn me off from a song, he comes in, brings me right back. So I like dude. He can rap. And you know, they have a song with 50 Cent called City on the Map. Raekwon is speaking on the intro. They have a song called Bang, the remix. Never heard the original version, but it's featuring Eminem, which I like. I like the song, but Eminem doesn't fit quite on this song to me. He's more on some battle rap shit, and they're on some gangster shit, and it doesn't fully connect. But I still like the song nonetheless. And Eminem does, he gets his man, he does his thing, but it's just it just doesn't totally work. But I still like the song, if that make any sense. So I'm gonna give this album a B, a strong B. Would have elevated it even more, but like I said, that doop 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 and grrr, all that shit over the songs, each song, that shit. Come on. Well, I'm done. I'm finished, and there you have it.